Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy.
Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Scottie Pippen Jr. so clearly should have been the MVP. Led the Memphis Grizzlies to a 5-0 record going into the championship game. Led the Memphis Grizzlies to the championship game. Was first team all summer league. What was Jalen Wilson? Second team. What are we doing here? Snubbed. Capital S-N-U-B. Snubbed.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum. We're in downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle's right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you never forgot that we are still the United States of America. We're still the kings and queens of basketball. But if you did forget that ever, you were probably reminded of it this weekend. Our men won gold. Our women won gold. We'll celebrate it. We'll celebrate it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. Typically on Mondays in the second segment, I'm joined by ESPN's Michael Eaves. Not going to do that today because he's tied up with a charity event, I believe. So we're going to have to catch up with Michael Eaves next week. And today, we'll just eventually jump straight to 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, New York Giants receiver Malik Nabers shared an interesting story this weekend with Kay Adams about Odell Beckham. They both played at LSU, different times, but interesting story that has folks turning on Odell Beckham. I'll walk you through the whole thing. We'll do that in about 20 or 30 minutes. In a new book set to be published, New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers said he does regret telling the media that he was immunized a few years back. The book is creating a lot of headlines. I'll share some of them with you. We'll do that a little later on in the show. Another weekend in the box office is in the books. It ends with Us overperformed. Congrats to Blake Lively. Borderlands flopped. I'll get Bennett's thoughts on this. We're going to talk about this. We'll do that here in just a bit. Matt Kuchar was a real D-head yesterday at the Wyndham Championship. I don't know if you've seen this. He refused to finish his round because of darkness. Made folks come out there like everybody else finished. He just decided he didn't want to. Made everybody come back out there this morning so he could play half a hole to complete the tournament. Just goofy. I'll tell you what happened. We'll do that in just a bit. And going to be a historic night in the history of the internet tonight, I think. Former President Donald Trump and the richest person in the world, Elon Musk, going to have a conversation live on X, formerly known as Twitter. It starts at 7 o'clock. I bet you that'll generate some attention.
I bet so.
Woo. We'll spend a few minutes on that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we will eventually do GP's carryout, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with the 2024 Paris Olympics because the 2024 Paris Olympics, they've closed officially. Closed them last night on television. There's a guy, he walks out. I love that there's a guy. It's his job. Like if somebody ever asks you, like, what's your job? This fella here, you know what he says? I close the Olympics.
That is a pretty cool gig.
What's your job? What do you do for a living? How do you pay your bills? I close the Olympics. This guy takes a microphone. He stands in front of everybody and he says, just need to tell you guys the Olympics are now closed. Did it in French. I can't speak French. But he said the Olympics are now closed. And everybody was like, woo, what a job. It's like the Olympics version of Elvis has left the building. You know?
Yep.
It's like, hey, guys, we've been running and jumping around for like 17 days. We're not going to do that anymore. The Olympics are closed. I like that job. So the Olympics are now closed. But not before we reminded the world that we are still the kings and queens of basketball. We're not the queens of boxing, all right? Algeria is the queens of boxing.
Yes, they are.
All right? Congrats to them. Congrats to Iman. But we are still the kings and queens of basketball after we went to France and defeated France to win a couple of gold medals this weekend. Final score, Team USA women, 67. Team France women, 66. It was a close one.
It was.
Asia Wilson led Americans with 21 points. That's 8 straight gold medals for the United States women. They've won 61 consecutive games at the Summer Games dating back to 1992. We dominated women's basketball.
Yeah.
And now Caitlin and Angel are coming, so good luck.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
good luck, haters.
Quite a long streak there.
You couldn't beat us without Caitlin and Angel. Now you're going to try to beat us in 4 years with Caitlin and Angel? Good luck.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Final score, Team USA men 98. Team France men 87. Steph Curry got 24 points on 8 makes in the gold medal game. Played 30 minutes. Just incredible shot making.
It was insane to watch.
The final score might not indicate it, but if you were watching, you know it was a one-possession game with less than 3 minutes to play. And this is when Steph just went bananas. He bangs home a 3 with 2:48 remaining, makes it a 6-point game. Then he bangs home another one with 1:53 remaining. Then he gets another one with 1:14 remaining. Then another with 35 seconds remaining. And the one with 35 seconds remaining is the most outrageous. I mean, go find a screenshot of it. LeBron is wide open. KD is wide open. Steph ignores them completely and pulls with 4 hands in his face. He's got 4 hands in his face. He shoots it over 2 people. Swish.
Crazy.
Just legendary stuff. All-time great performance. 4 threes, 12 points in a span of 133 seconds to secure a gold medal at the age of 36 against France in France. Hard to top that. Steph even afterwards said that on his list of accomplishments, this is very, very, very high. He wasn't quite willing to say it's the biggest thing I've ever done because he does have multiple NBA championships. But you could tell. And you could tell with all those guys. Like, this meant something to them. I know they just went and did what they were supposed to do, which is win every game. But whether it was the emotion in the semifinals when they had to battle back to get past Serbia or the pure joy that they demonstrated after winning a gold medal, like, these men, for the most part, have legacy cemented, more money than they would ever know what to do with, and yet they look like kids winning a 10-year-old baseball tournament this weekend, celebrating in a way that, I don't know. I just found it easy to appreciate. You know, you get a little jaded sometimes watching these guys, particularly in the regular season when they don't always show up every night. All-Star game, they refuse to compete. But the Olympics are a different animal. They take it very, very seriously. And you could see the emotion on really all of their faces, even Jason Tatum, after winning yet another gold medal. Big Bet Bennett, where were you when you found yourself as a Grizzlies fan, cheering for Steph Curry like you're a Warriors fan?
I was just chilling on the couch. I was locked in this weekend. I watched a ton of Olympics.
You loved it. You had Olympic fever.
I did have Olympic fever from the jump. No, that was incredible to watch. He's insane. It did feel a little gross, rooting for him that moment. But I've always liked Steph. Like, I think you could put your Warriors hate and your respect for Steph. Like, I think you could put the Warriors hate aside, and I think
I've always been able to do that. I've always been able to say, yeah, I wish the Warriors would stop eliminating the Grizzlies from the playoffs. But
Steph's awesome.
Steph's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's like, I said this on Vernon's show last Friday, I guess after he went wild in the semifinals. There's nothing better in basketball, and you might be able to say nothing better in sports, but there's nothing better in basketball than Steph Curry on a heater. Like a Jordan dunk is iconic. A LeBron block is iconic. Kareem's skyhook is iconic. But there is nothing more fun, I'd argue, in the history of basketball than Steph Curry on a heater. And in the final 3 minutes of that gold medal game in Paris, what we saw was Steph Curry on an absolute heater. Do you disagree with that? I don't think think of all the things you can see in basketball. I think Steph Curry on a heater, 4 threes in a span of 133 seconds, stuff like that. I think that's more fun than anything. Ja going over somebody and dunking, obviously, that's an incredible moment.
Sure, but it's one play.
It's just one thing that happens very fast. When Steph Curry starts cooking, I don't think there's anything more enjoyable to watch in basketball, in the history of basketball, and maybe sports.
Oof. I might tend to agree. I definitely agree with it in basketball because, like, in that moment in the game, that was a terrible shot. That was absolutely horrible for anybody but him. And the thing is everyone wanted him to take that shot. Like, if you're watching that game, even though it's a horrible shot,
just pull it.
Just take the shot. We want to see you take the shot because, again, he's on this.
Oh, and by the way, he had already decided he's taking that shot.
That's right. He made up his mind well before.
It was a heat check moment. Like, Steph Curry is an incredible basketball player. He knows when he's got 4 hands in front of him, somebody's open. And, oh, by the way, it ain't Jonathan Kuminga this time.
Right.
It's LeBron James and Kevin Durant.
Right.
Like, on the Warriors, there are times where a bad Steph shot is better than a good otherwise Warrior shot because he's Steph Curry and, you know, he might be throwing the ball to Jonathan Kuminga or Andrew Wiggins. Sure. His options here were LeBron James and Kevin Durant. He knew somebody was open. I'm confident he knew both of them were open. He sees the court that way. He just decided he's taking the shot. I don't know if you saw the quote from Bam Adebayo, but he was like, I was like, why is he shooting? And then I forgot who it was. Like, if you're just watching, if you don't have any context for who this person is, that's a horrific shot.
Yeah.
If you're watching a random college basketball game and somebody shot that, you'd be like, what in the world? If you were watching a junior high basketball game and somebody took that shot, you'd say, what are you doing? If you were a coach and somebody took that shot in a scrimmage, you'd blow the whistle and yell at them. Pass the ball. What are you taking a shot with 4 arms in front of you?
Right.
But when it's Steph, you can take that because he can make it. And he talked about it afterwards. Like, I practice these shots all the time. Like, and then a bunch of videos start going viral about him in workouts and practices. Like, everything's at full speed. He's not just, you know, there are moments where he's just walking from here to there. But when he gets into these intense workouts, everything's at full speed. And there is no place on the court he hasn't launched a ball 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. And there's no set of circumstances he hasn't encountered. So that's a terrible shot for maybe anybody else in the history of the world. But for him, he knows how to get it off. He knows how to get it through these arms. And he has a high belief in himself that he's capable of making that shot. Was it lucky on some level? Yes, I guess. You put a ball that high in the air, it falls through that way, through 4 arms. But he can make that shot. And you're right. We all wanted him to take it. And when he made it, it was like a real moment in the history of basketball. Like I mentioned last week, we don't get our basketball moments from the Olympics too often. Like we get our gymnastics moments, our track and field moments, or our swimming moments because we get our basketball moments from the NBA. But what happened in Paris was that was a big thing in the history of American basketball. Kevin Durant winning a 4th gold medal, becoming the first man to ever do that. LeBron James winning MVP. And then, of course, Steph Curry having the incredible semifinal performance and then championship game, gold medal game performance. So Steph was excellent. KD made history. LeBron was named the MVP. You got any issue with that?
No.
Our king?
I think he was the best player. I mean, he was the most consistent player throughout the thing, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to my mom about it last night. She was like, I just think Steph Curry should be the MVP. She's like, every time I watched, he was like the best player. And I was like, well, when did you watch? He was like, the semifinals and the gold medal game. I was like, well, then, yeah, if that's all you watched, he should be. Steph didn't really show up until the semifinals. Like Anthony Edwards had the funny quote, like, this dude just got here 3 days ago, right? And now he's taking over the whole world. But LeBron was consistently the best player at the 2024 Paris Olympics. So he was named MVP, got his third Olympic gold medal. He led the team in rebounds, led the team in assists. He never had one game, I don't guess, or one spurt like the last 2 games or that final spurt from Steph Curry. But most agree LeBron was Team USA's most consistent GOAT from start to finish. So he got that honor, which means at the age of 39, this is wild, he was the MVP of men's basketball at the Olympics while also being the oldest active player in the NBA. You're not supposed to, and this goes without saying, and we've said it a million times, you're not supposed to be able to do what he's doing at this age. He's the oldest person in the NBA and still one of the 10 best. And at the Olympics, look like the best. He's just incredible. And now folks are already wondering, starting to speculate on whether LeBron will play in Los Angeles for Team USA in 2028. I want to know what you think about that next, but let's take a break first, pay some bills, and then we'll come back, talk more Olympics. It's the Gary Parrish Show. We're presented by Ortho South.
We have 2 pairs of shoes that literally are not released to the public right now, and we're going to give you a live look.
First look in hand of the Armor Year 3.
Look at that leather.
Leather is super nice on this here. I actually tried to cheat this into my top 10 so far, but Kelsey said I couldn't. These have yet to be seen. These are the Armor Year 4s. These are called Phantom. I'm sorry, these are called Phantom.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
GG gonna be just fine, bro. Like he probably, like Josh probably number 1, and he's probably number 2 most talented teammates I've ever had.
Just raw talent.
Like,
wow.
bro, like
just go to the gym, hoop type stuff.
Like you walk in the gym and he might be doing a workout and you're gonna look over and be like, damn.
The Chris Vernon Show, live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Looking at the college football playoff and the odds to make the college football playoff, this is the top 13 teams. 7 of these 13 are out of the SEC.
I think that first year in the SEC is going to be different. Like I do. I just think it's going to be different.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt, live Thursdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough Studio talking Olympic basketball because we're still the kings and queens. America is of Olympic basketball. Our men don't lose anymore. Our women, they haven't lost in a million years. We got 2 more gold medals. Hey, finish.
I mean, we didn't win in 3-on-3.
Yeah, but that's
in both men's and women's. We got the bronze in women's.
We didn't send our best. We didn't even send our second best
I'm
or our
just
third
saying.
best. We sent Jimmer.
I'm just saying, can we call ourselves the Kings and Queens?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Well, we just got to figure that out.
You're right.
If we're going to play, like, I'm happy to get rid of 3-on-3 basketball because it seems gimmicky and goofy.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as we're going to have it, we need to send real people.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to send somebody other than Jimmer. All right?
No offense.
No offense. Jimmer.
It's just
he's not.
No.
There are 1,000 basketball players we could have sent to win 3-on-3. And instead we sent Jimmer.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand, we talked about this last week. It's a lot of it is you got to qualify to participate, and you have to compete in these FIBA sanctioned 3-on-3 events, and they often, if not entirely, happen during the NBA season.
Okay.
So it's
just send college basketball
let's
players.
just change the let's change whatever we got to change to make it to where we can send people other than Jimmer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, if we look up in 2028 and we're trying to run Jimmer back out there, I've had enough.
It's a problem.
It's a real problem. All right. So the 3-on-3 thing, we just didn't take it seriously. We need to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Let's take it seriously next time.
Yeah.
Let's not lose anything, any version of basketball that they give out medals for. We should win that.
Agreed.
I know you were following it. We ended up with more gold medals than anybody else. Does that satisfy you?
We tied but won the tiebreaker, right? We tied with China but won the tiebreaker. I don't know how that works.
None of my business.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Anyway, I just wanted to make sure.
But
you feel,
we won. We were on top.
America's the best again.
That's
America's
right.
the best again.
Yeah, don't you forget it.
We're not great at politics, but buddy, if you create a sport, we'll probably win it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll probably win that.
Yep.
All right. So now people are already turning their attention to 2028 and the big.
They sure were on NBC last night.
Buddy, did you watch? Did you
What
enjoy?
the hell?
Did you enjoy the closing ceremonies?
Yeah, I did enjoy the closing ceremonies. I kind of was a little annoyed. And listen, I'm USA. Don't get it twisted. A little annoyed with the broadcast, like taking it over and being like, we're going to do our own like LA closing ceremony celebration too. Like, what was that?
Well, it's just, just trying to get people excited, isn't it?
Well, it's 4 years away.
I know, but
like no one's gonna remember that.
I'll remember it.
I was just like they cut away from like the France broadcast and like the Red Hot Chili Peppers are playing on a beach. I was just like, what's happening right now?
Are you anti-Chili Pepper? Are you pro or anti-Chili Pepper?
I can get down with some songs. I can get down with some songs. I wouldn't say that I'm like necessarily. Like, if they were playing a concert, I don't know if I would, like, buy a ticket and go.
It is actually surprising to me that they can still sell out arenas all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it feels like that. Like, would any 20-year-old be, like, listening to the Chili Peppers today?
It's a good question. I mean, they put them on that broadcast for a reason. It was like all the old heads. It was the Chili Peppers. It was Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre. Yeah, it was kind of like the old.
Surprised they didn't bring out Willie Nelson or something.
All right. Yeah.
It was. Well, Billie Eilish was there. She's not old.
Oh, Billie Eilish.
She's a young
was there.
woman.
That's right.
She's Phineas. He's not old.
No,
Phineas is a young man.
That's true.
I'm always baffled because it was very easy when I was 20. We really did listen to music from our past. We listened to the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we knew all of the rock music from the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah.
And the 80s. We knew all that stuff. There was not a big band from the 60s, 70s, or 80s that a 20-year-old in the 90s would not have known of.
That's true.
Do 20-year-olds now know that? Here's my theory on this. I've established a theory on this.
Okay.
I've never actually taken the time to figure out if it makes sense.
Yeah.
But here's my theory. When I was growing up, when you were growing up even, maybe not so much when you were growing up, but certainly when I was growing up, the dominant genre of music was rock music or hard rock music or grunge. We went through that little phase. But my entire childhood, from the time I was old enough to understand music or listen to music, buy albums and listen to what I want to listen to, through like your formative years, which maybe take you through college, it was, whether it was Metallica or Guns N' Roses or Nirvana or Pearl Jam or Soundgarden, if there were big bands, everybody, young person listened to them. Like, in that era, there was a time where Guns N' Roses could make Appetite for Destruction, and 3 months later, they could be selling out every arena in America. Like, just like that, it happens. That could not happen for a rock band today. It could happen for a rapper. It could happen for a country music star. I don't think it could happen for a rock act today. So here's my theory.
Not a new act. Yeah.
This is what I submit. There was a time in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Pearl Jam could release 10 and be the biggest band in the world all in the same year.
Mm-hmm.
Their album, they were nobodies. Their album just came out. They're the biggest band in the world, and it all happens in the same year. That could happen. That happened regularly. It happened with Pearl Jam. It happened with Nirvana. It happened with Guns N' Roses. It happened regularly. I don't think any rock band in the year 2024 could put out an album today and start selling out their debut album today, and they're selling out arenas within a year. I don't think that can happen for a rock band today.
I don't either.
It can happen for Olivia Rodrigo, right? It can happen for somebody like Megan Thee Stallion, but it cannot happen for a rock band. Here's my theory. So because rock music isn't as big with young people today, because hip-hop is, young people aren't listening to new rock music, which means they don't have any reason to go back and listen to old rock music, so they have no idea who the Red Hot Chili Peppers are.
Interesting.
That's my theory.
I mean, someone in the chat said, TA said he's 17 and he listens to him. I think it's an interesting theory. I tend to agree with what you're saying.
We listened to it would say this early 90s.
Yeah.
That's when I was in high school.
Yeah.
We listened to all the big rock bands, and then it'd be like, well, if you listen to this, man, you should check out Led Zeppelin. Man, if you like this, you should really listen to Jimi Hendrix, Pink Floyd. It was an introduction to the past. Now, I don't even know if young people listen to old hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, they find out about music through social media, right? That's how people are exposed to music now.
Yes.
Young people are exposed to music. So, yeah, I mean, I think that, and you do have people like sampling some of these older songs. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I think there could be something to that.
I wonder if a young person heard the Chili Peppers, because it's a very unique sound. It's not like a traditional band in any way.
No.
The Chili Peppers are a unique.
Yeah, it's like that funk rock.
It's like a unique sound. Anthony Kiedis is unique. Flea, the whole thing. I think if young people hear that today, they go, "What is this? Y'all like this?"
No, I mean, dude, they still like sell their T-shirts at Target and stuff.
That that.
Yeah.
Okay. Second point. I think you're more likely to see a teenager in a Chili Peppers T-shirt than actually see a teenager listening to the Chili Peppers. They just wear the T-shirts.
Well, and that's because like vintage tees
are massive. My wife's store sells them for $1 million each, and they're sold out nonstop.
Like people just wear band shirts because they're cool.
There ain't nothing a suburban mom likes to do more than put their little white kid in a Biggie shirt. You know what I'm saying? I could say those for $60.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they would have put him on the NBC Brock. But you know what? Who's watching cable? Older crowd.
Of course.
So that's why you get the Chili Peppers and Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kids ain't turning in to watch that.
Right.
You and I are watching that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
It's wild out there. Anyway,
revisit the older music.
Yeah,
come on, kids.
I never loved the Chili Peppers like everybody else did.
No, I didn't either.
It wasn't like there was a time where I was like, Pearl Jam's my favorite band.
Right.
Guns is my favorite band. I really dig this Nirvana album. Chili Peppers were just always there.
Yeah,
they were just always.
I like them.
They were
I like
always
some
there.
songs,
they were
but
fine. You know, I'll go under a bridge downtown if I need to.
Yeah.
You know, but I've never seen them in concert. It's one of the.
Either.
It's one of the big acts from that time that I never seen live.
No, I never.
And I never
either.
really cared to see them live.
No, I don't think I did either. They played here once upon a time.
But they seem like good people.
Yeah, they seem like great guys.
They seem like good guys. I'm not here to brag, but you know, did I ever, if you were going to ask, have you ever walked Anthony Kiedis' baby mama down the aisle at a wedding? I'd have to say yes to that. I have.
Who was his baby mama?
I can't remember her name, but she was a model. She was the maid of honor in a wedding I was in, and I was the best man in the wedding. Yeah, I walked the mother of Baby Chili Pepper down the aisle.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Like Anthony Kiedis, you know Anthony Kiedis.
Yeah, of
He had
course.
sex with this woman.
Uh-huh.
They had a baby.
Yep.
And then they went different ways.
Sure.
And I walked her down the aisle.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever run into Anthony Kiedis, at least you have something to talk about.
We have something in common.
Good.
I'll be like, hey, remember that woman you had sex with that one time and had that kid? And he'll be like, which one?
Which one?
Well, I'd probably say which one. And I'll be, you know the one. That one.
Yeah.
And I'll say, I walked her down the aisle one time. She seemed like a pleasant woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. I was happy to see the Chili Peppers. I guess Flea looks good though.
He looks awesome for his age.
He looks awesome for any age.
Yeah.
I would trade looks with Flea right now.
Yeah, I would trade looks too.
Like if you told me I could just snap my fingers and I could not be Flea, but I could just look like Flea. Like you just watch the Gary Parrish show, but instead of seeing me, you see Flea. I'd rather look like Flea than me.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You rather look like Flea than you?
Yes.
I think so. What about Anthony Kiedis? You rather look like Anthony Kiedis?
Sure.
I think so too. I think I'd rather look like any of the Chili Peppers.
They're in good shape.
Yeah, they're holding it together. Good for them. LeBron hey, speaking of people holding it together.
Yes.
LeBron James, 39 years old, just won MVP of the Olympics. People already speculating. Is LeBron going to play in 2028? What do you think?
Okay, I was talking to people about this weekend. I think because I don't see him playing in the NBA until 2028. Okay, again, he is.
You ready for that? I have no idea whether he will. He can if he wants to.
He can if he wants to. I don't think he will because he seems to me like the kind of guy that will stop when eventually it's got to decline, right? Eventually, there's got to be a decline.
The obvious answer to that is yes, of course.
Yes.
But
he's doing something nobody else has ever done before. Okay,
he's the oldest player in the NBA, and think about whoever is the oldest player. Actually, NFL's not great because you can hide a quarterback, but think about if there was you're just not supposed to be able to do this,
right?
All right, I'll just keep it simple. You're not supposed to be able to do this at his age.
That being said, I do think he will play in the Olympics in 28. I think that he will be. I don't know if he'd be the first, but I think he'd be the first retired player to play in the Olympics. I think he'll do it in 28. I do. It'll be a legacy thing. They'll have a spot for him. If he retires with the Lakers, it would make some sense. And we know, dude.
I feel like if you retire, it's tough.
I'm just saying, he likes the spotlight. So let's say he retires in 26 or 27. Okay. Then you're off for a year.
But you're not in basketball shape anymore.
Okay, I understand that, but you're not in the limelight anymore.
Right.
What better way to get everybody talking again than, hey, I'm coming back. That's how you get the conversation centered around you again.
I think if he's retired, more likely he's just like a United States ambassador. He's just the Snoop Dogg of the 2028 Olympics.
What would be a bigger story than LeBron unretiring to play Olympic basketball in 28?
Except not everybody would love that because people hate him. Some people do not like him, and that would rub people the wrong way.
I don't know, man. It'd be the biggest story in sports.
If you are preconditioned to be a LeBron hater, you would hate him unretiring to take a spot from Chet Holmgren or whatever,
Right.
That would not be immensely popular. It would not be it would be a big story.
Yep.
We'd talk about it.
It'd be the biggest story in sports.
It would not be as popular as you think.
Maybe not, but that's what I think is going to happen.
I wouldn't rule anything out, right? But it's clear to me that he is capable of playing, being on the team.
Mm-hmm. And you have retired NBA players playing on these world teams.
There you go.
Yeah,
if he wants to do it, he can do it.
Yeah.
The question will be do you want to keep pushing yourself? That's what you hear from a lot of guys who retire. I think Jason Kelsey would tell you this. He just retired, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I could still play. A lot of retired guys say, I can still play, but it's not getting myself ready to play. The things I have to do. Ask Derrick Rose. The things he has to do just to maybe get on the court for 7 minutes relative to the things he used to do when he was playing basketball at the age of 19.
Sure.
You have to do nothing. You just wake up, throw some shoes on, and go jump out the gym when you're 19. You reach a point in your career where it's a process. I've been in the gym when LeBron's just doing pickup games, and it's a process for him to even get on the court. I'm not exaggerating. LeBron James will walk in the gym, getting ready to play pickup. There'll be 15 people in the gym. I've been in there for these at these LeBron James Skills Academies or some Nike event, and it's some of the best college players are there as counselors. Some of the best high school prospects are there, and LeBron is just going to get on the court and run up and down with them. So they'll always have that memory. Yeah, I played with LeBron. I got past LeBron. I shot over LeBron. He's really good about that. There's these moments in these camps I've attended where they'll have 4 games going on at one time, 4 pickup games among campers, all in the same building, 4 different courts, and he'll just pop into each one. So he'll play for 10 minutes on this court. and then he'll pop over to that court and play for 10 minutes, just so every kid there will be able to say, I played with LeBron James, right? Imagine if when I was a kid, Roger Clemens came to a baseball camp and was like, all right, I'm going to pitch to every one of you at least one. And I could sit here on a random Monday and be like, yeah, I got in a box against Roger Clemens one time. Like, that'd be an amazing story.
Sure.
I'd probably tell it 100 times more than I should, but I'd have it. So he gives everybody that story. Here's my point. Before he gets on that court, I am not exaggerating. It's like an hour of him laying on the ground, and they're just stretching him and rubbing him, and just it's like he is what he is. It's like he's a $1 billion machine, and they have to take special care of it. And if that's what they have to do, I've seen it with my own eyes, just to get him ready for a scrimmage. Imagine the process he has to go through just to get ready for a game.
All right.
Like, you just don't show up, put your uniform on, and go play. It's like a lot of, I'm going to lay here for an hour and let this person stretch me out. At what point do you just get tired of that? That's what I hear from a lot of retired athletes. It's like, I could still do it, but the process, doing what I had to do to put myself in a position to perform, was no longer, it used to take an hour, and now it takes 3. And I just don't want to put myself through that anymore. When does he reach that point? I don't know. But if he has the desire to keep playing, it's pretty clear to me he's got many years left. Eventually, like the Tom Brady thing happened pretty quickly. He went from he could win a Super Bowl to, oh my God, this guy needs to retire. So boxing, it happens all the time. Somebody looks unbeatable. 6 months pass, pop, out. Come back 9 months later, pop, out. Now you're retired. When it goes, it goes. But when you are still good enough to be the MVP of the Olympics, it strikes me as reasonable to assume you could still do it 4 years from now to some degree. I think the mistake USA Basketball would make is, because what do you do if LeBron says, I do want to play? Do you tell him no? You probably can't tell him no.
You just bench Jason Tatum.
Right.
Yeah.
So
he's used to it.
Okay, but then what happens if Steph says, hey, I want to play too?
Right.
It's in California. I'm a Golden State Warrior.
Yep.
I want to play in the Olympics. And then KD says, well, I'm not going to let I'm not going to let LeBron catch me 4 gold medals.
Right.
If he's going to try to get his 4th, I'm going to try to get my 5th.
I think there's
And now you got a problem.
Yeah.
Because now 25% of your roster is old men.
Yeah.
That would be the mistake. LeBron, maybe, but you can't take them all. If they all, and I don't think they all will, but if Steph, KD, and LeBron all decided, we're just going to keep playing, and we want to do, I don't think you can, you probably can take them all. I should take that back. You probably can and still win, but that's also how you end up. You're at the Olympics, you got 3 old men, so you really got 9 in their prime players. One of them turns an ankle, another one messes up a hand, and now you just lost in the semifinals to Serbia. Like, that's how it happens.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm going to stand with, I think LeBron's going to do it in 28. I do. I think that just because it'll be the biggest story in sports. So I think he's going to do that. But I will say, I think there's something also to going out on top. And I would say this is as competitive of a run as they've had getting to gold.
It was
tough.
I mean, the semifinals and the gold medal game were both like into the final minute.
Yeah. So I think there's maybe something to going out on top as well.
But then, like, if the next Olympics were in Saudi Arabia, I don't even think we'd be having this conversation.
I don't think so either.
If the next Olympics were in Brazil, probably not talking about it.
I agree.
But it being in Los Angeles, California, I think makes it a thing where it's going to pique his interest. It's going to pique.
I mean, he lives there. Yeah.
It'll probably pique Steph's interest. It'll pique KD's interest.
Yeah.
The mistake would be taking too many of the legends just to do it.
Yeah.
You could get away with it in 92, take Larry, take Magic, because who's going to play with us? But the world has closed the gap considerably. And then you get that quote from Wemby. Did you see that quote?
I did see the quote.
The best. That's like an awesome quote.
Yeah.
And it speaks to him, the confidence he has, a very quiet.
Yeah, he cries a little too much for me.
He's awesome.
Yeah, but he cries a lot.
Well, he's an emotional guy.
I guess.
He's only 20. Well, were you not an emotional guy when you were 20?
Yeah, I was. I just see him crying a lot.
For people who didn't see the quote, after losing to the United States and securing a silver medal, he said, I'm learning and I'm worried for the opponents in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And he was asked, you're worried for the opponents in a couple of years, like the opponents in the NBA or in FIBA? He said, everywhere.
Yeah. I mean,
he's so awesome.
He is so awesome. And listen, I mean, dude, he's going to have what's up? Because he's going to have other guys around him. Like, they had some good players, but like it was really, as far as NBA players go, it was like him, Batum, Gobert.
Well, you don't know what it's going to look like, but in
That's
theory,
right.
Zachary Ricochet could be a part of this.
Yeah.
Alex Sarr could be a part of this.
Yeah, you've got guys coming up.
If Embiid wanted to do a turn, he could go play for them.
Yeah, that would be insane. Well, he hinted he might play for Cameroon if he could get them qualified. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. He's coming.
He's coming.
He's coming. Yeah, he's on his way, Foz, but he's on his way.
You saw the still shot, I'm certain, of Steph getting that shot off over Wemby, and it's just an amazing, like, it should just be a picture in, a museum somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I say little bitty Steph, he's like 5 inches taller than me.
That's right.
But he looks little bitty, and Wemby's all stretched out. It's like, how do you even get this ball? And, like, how do you even get this ball in the air? How do you even realize you can shoot this shot? It's just, those are two, I know Wemby's young, but those are going to be two of the all-time greats. And to have that moment, the Olympics just gave us a lot of that.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
I'm going to miss it.
I'm going to miss it too. And,
Yeah.
you see, and it resonated with viewers as well. Did you see the ratings came in?
I'm
for
sure
the
they're
Goldman?
massive.
19.5 million.
Yeah.
That's like NFL Sunday Night Football stuff.
Yeah.
People tuned in. It peaked at 22.7 million between 4 and 4:15 on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when they, it got final 3 minutes, one possession game. It peaked. Roughly 23 million people were watching either on NBC or on Peacock. So
and it'll break that record next time around. In 28, yeah.
Wow, just
because of the time zone.
It's going to be incredible. Like all this whole tape delay stuff, that's over.
Right.
We're going to be able to watch things live and in our normal viewing patterns. There won't be elite, like the track and field stuff ain't going to be happening in the middle of the morning.
Right.
It's going to be prime time. Yeah, like we'll be watching the United States men's national team, women's national team play in prime time live. It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
I can't wait. I wish it was starting tomorrow.
No, man.
What are we going to do tomorrow instead?
Talk about preseason football.
Oh, man, I can't wait to talk about preseason football.
I did watch a ton of it.
I can't even turn it on.
Yeah, I watched.
I can't even pretend to be interested.
I watched so much preseason NFL.
I just watched the Mets get swept by the Mariners.
Oh, yeah, that was gross. Yeah, that was gross. Yeah.
Sunday Night Baseball is the worst when the team's on it and they get blown out. You wait all day to just watch it. I'm like, man, I can't wait. Sunday night's going to be great. Watch Mets on Sunday Night Baseball. They're down 1,000,000-0. I can't watch preseason football. I don't care enough about it. But I'm glad you did.
I'll get you into it.
Hey, I did read this, though. So Malik Nabers, you know Malik Nabers, top 10 pick out of LSU. He's a receiver. New York Giants, right?
Yes.
So he's talking to Kay Adams this week. You know Kay Adams.
Yes.
She's great.
Yep.
She seems wonderful. So he's talking to Kay Adams this week, and he had an interesting story about Odell Beckham, and people have now taken this story to beat Odell Beckham up on his head.
Okay.
They're beating his head in. Do you know this story?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this story.
Okay.
And then is this fair that people are attacking Odell Beckham? I'm going to tell you up front, I'm not sure that it is, but I'm going to let you have your own opinion on it. All right? We're going to do that next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
They needed size. They needed shooting. What were your initial thoughts on how this class turned out for the Grizzlies?
Analytically looking at it, you had to have a big man, and they got the best big man that was left on the board.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
We have 2 pairs of shoes that literally are not released to the public right now, and we're going to give you a live look.
First look in hand of the Armour Year 3.
Look at that leather.
Leather is super nice on this here. I actually tried to cheat this into my top 10 so far, but Kelsey said I couldn't. These have yet to be seen. These are the Armour Year 4s. These are called Phantom. I'm sorry, these are called Phantom.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Scottie Pippen Jr. so clearly should have been the MVP. Led the Memphis Grizzlies to a 5-0 record going into the championship game. Led the Memphis Grizzlies to the championship game. Was first team all Summer League. What was Jalen Wilson? Second team. What are we doing here? Snubbed. Capital S-N-U-B. Snubbed.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Looking for a full court dining experience? Dribble over to Southland Casino Hotel, your ultimate gaming oasis in West Memphis. As a proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies, we're inviting you to savor the flavors at our 8 incredible dining venues. Ignite Steakhouse is where culinary excellence gets grilled. Indulge in charcoal grilled steaks and farm-to-table favorites, perfectly paired with wine or handcrafted cocktails. Enjoy an all-access buffet experience at the kitchens, or revel in comfort food and southern classics at the Fry House. If casual is more your thing, sample the innovative fare at Seasons Cafe, while Chairman's Bar and Charred Oak Bourbon Bar serve up cocktails and live concerts every week. For those on the go, The Grind is your one-stop coffee shop with gourmet brews and grab-and-go goodies. And of course, we can't forget the Sports Bar and Grill, where you can catch all the Grizzlies action with the best pub fare in town. At Southland Casino Hotel, we've got the perfect dining experience for you, so come on down and ignite your taste buds today.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Maxwell in concert. The Serenade Tour. October 16th at FedEx Forum. Maxwell. With special guest Jasmine Sullivan. And October London. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Maxwell Live.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
So did you see this story? Malik Nabers was interviewing with Kay Adams this weekend.
Okay.
And he was telling a story about his relationship with Odell Beckham because, you know, they
LSU
both
Connect,
played at LSU, and then they were both drafted by the Giants. So it's a reasonable thing to assume, like maybe they have some sort of relationship. So Malik Nabers is talking about this, and he says, hey, like when I was 11 or 12, maybe 11, he says, I had big hands. He's telling the story to Kay Adams. He said, I had big hands. Mm-hmm. And I knew Odell also had big hands. You know what they say about big hands, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Starting to make sense, isn't it?
Mm. I know what they say.
I know what they say.
I've seen what they say.
I've seen what they say.
I have average hands.
I got tiny hands.
Do you have tiny hands? I have average hands.
But you know what they say about the size of a man's hands?
Yeah.
So Odell Beckham, you might wonder sometimes, right?
Mm.
How's Odell Beckham always? You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay.
I got you, Joe.
Anyway, Malik Nabers, he says, I heard Odell's got big hands.
Okay.
I have big hands. I can't go to like Academy Sports or Dick's. You ever go to Dick's?
Yes.
Okay. Can't go to Dick's and find gloves that fit my hands because I got gigantic hands.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he says, I sent Odell Beckham a direct message on Instagram. I'm 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, Odell Beckham, my name's Malik Nabers. I have big hands. Heard you got big hands. Man, could you get me some gloves? Because I can't find any at Academy Sports or Dick's. Okay? Never heard from him. All right?
Mm.
Night of the draft, Malik Nabers gets selected by the New York Giants. 6th overall, I believe, out of LSU. Odell Beckham hits him back on direct message and says, well, I guess you don't need those gloves now. And people, after hearing the story, are turning on Odell Beckham. They're like, where were you when the kid was 11 and he needed your help? You don't even bother to reach out to him until after he's selected in the draft? That's lame, Odell Beckham. Is that lame?
I don't know. I mean, I watched LeBron like shoo away a little French kid.
He sure did.
So I don't know. I think maybe a lot of those guys.
My
think
favorite
F
part of
them
that video.
kids.
Did you see that? There's a lot of great videos from Paris.
Yeah.
You got Aisha Curry and Sonia Curry arguing with the French police.
I saw that.
Watch
Yep.
that one.
Yeah.
Draymond gets in there.
I saw that. That's a good one.
Draymond's arguing with the French. Of course, Draymond's arguing with the French police. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Then you got this one, LeBron. He looks like he's going into a restaurant or something.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a kid, like clearly, just being a kid, and LeBron's right there in front of him.
Yep.
And LeBron's like, stop. Whatever you're doing, stop it. All right. Not great. I agree.
I didn't like that.
I don't like it. Not
I
great.
didn't like that.
Not great. You don't know what's been going on. You don't know how many people have been yelling at him for the past 2 hours. But I agree with you. I don't like that.
I don't like that.
But what I loved in that clip, go back and watch it. It's so funny. Mm-hmm. There's like a French policeman.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, in these clips, I see all these French people speaking French. I was just there. They don't do that. I talked to French police all the time while I was in France. And it was always in English. Everything was fine.
Interesting.
I don't know what's going on with these videos. They're talking French like they can't speak English. I know they can. I just saw these dudes.
Okay.
I talked English to them. So it's so funny. LeBron like shoos a little French kid away. And the police are trying to, get him into the restaurant without incident. And so the guy in French I'm assuming it's a cop or something. Mm-hmm. He says, whatever you say in French, I can't do the accent, but it's like, please make way for King. Make way for King coming. It was like he was a king.
Yeah.
Right?
He is a king.
He is a king, though, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't love him shooing away the little kid, but I loved them saying, you need to clear the way. A king is walking in. It was like he was a king. He is a king.
Yeah.
Okay. Odell Beckham. What do you think?
I don't care.
I don't care. I think the mistake is...
I think I would be willing to bet he may not have even seen that.
Okay, then you got to never see it. You got to never see it. You can't acknowledge it 10 years later.
I think that's fine. I think that's funny.
It's fine. I think it's fine. I wouldn't have done it. I'd have just been like, never see it. Because here's the truth. I'm assuming I don't get as many direct messages as Odell Beckham, in part because my hands are tiny. Why would anybody DM me?
Yeah.
Why would anybody slide into my DMs with these little bitty hands?
Right.
But Odell Beckham, different story. I'm not suggesting I get DMs at the same rate as Odell Beckham. I'm certain I don't. But I do get them. And you ready for this? I don't even see them sometimes. Like I think every once in a while I'll just click over there and it'll be like request. People are requesting me for some reason. And it'll be like 15 messages. And I'm like, and then I just get overwhelmed. I'm like, I can't do all this. And then it's just there. So am I being a jerk? Or am I just like, I don't have time for this?
I think it depends on what they are. It depends on what they are.
I object to the idea that just because you are reachable, because we're all reachable now. Everybody's reachable now.
Sure.
Just because we are all reachable doesn't mean we have to be reached all the time.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I agree with that.
Like there are some people who would be like, if somebody sends you an email, you should respond. If somebody sends you a direct message, take the time to respond. Well, what if 100 people are sending you emails and it's five paragraphs every email, and it's people at what point do you go, this is not a good use of my time? I appreciate these people reaching out to me for whatever reason, but just because you can reach me doesn't mean I need to. Think about if everybody in the world had your phone number and they could call you whenever they wanted to, and you were considered a jerk unless you spent 5 minutes talking to them on the phone. At what point do you go, I'm not answering these phone calls? Very quickly you would do that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this stuff, people act like, oh yeah, I sent so-and-so a direct message one time and they didn't reply. Well, why do they have to reply? I don't know who you are. Like, why do I have to talk? But not me, Odell Beckham. Why does Odell Beckham have to talk to just every random person who sends him a direct message? The mistake, I don't think, is ignoring it or missing it. The mistake is bringing it back. Just let it go. Just be like, if Malik Nabers ever tells this story and then they bring it back to Odell Beckham, you know what you say? You have no idea how many direct messages I get a day, often from Instagram models, and I miss stuff all the time. And I guess I'm not questioning whether he sent it. And I guess I could go back and look for it, but I don't ever remember that happening. I apologize. But he seems like a nice young man. The mistake is bringing it back up. Just let it go. Just be like, I get a million of these and I don't see them all. Sorry.
Okay. I don't. That's fine.
If you want to beat up on Odell Beckham, you got a million reasons to do it. I don't think this is one, though. Like, just because an 11-year-old reaches out to you and says, I'd like some gloves, doesn't mean that Odell Beckham is required to secure gloves and send them to this person or even respond to the direct message. I feel strongly about this. I hope that's coming through. I feel strongly about this. Just because
it does seem like it.
Because anybody can email me. My email is not hard to find. Anybody can email me. Am I really obligated to read every email I get and reply to it? I hope not, because I don't. I can't. It's not. I mean, I guess I could, and I'm sure other people do. I just found it to be. For me to properly read this and properly respond, this is going to take 20 minutes. That is 20 minutes I could use doing something that I actually need to do. And so I don't consider this a good use of my time. I'm hit or miss with it. I'll respond sometimes if I'm compelled to, but other times I just miss stuff. And I don't think that makes me a bad person. Bennett, tell me I'm not a bad person.
I don't think you're a bad person.
Do you think? What about Odell Beckham? You think he's a bad person?
No.
He might be. He could be. I don't know, but I don't think it's got anything to do with Malik Nabers.
I don't either.
Yeah, you just can't. We can't live in a world where we expect every celebrity, professional athlete to respond to every single person that approaches them or direct messages them or emails them or whatever all the time. It's an impossible bar to set. I don't like it. Somebody needs to apologize to Odell Beckham. He didn't do anything wrong.
Number 2.
Aaron Rodgers. Got a new book coming out. We talked about this book, right?
Yeah, we did talk about it a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so now we're getting like the excerpts, and then they create the headlines. And Ian O'Connor is he's the author of the book. Yep. So he's doing all the interviews, and you see everything circulate. Well, Aaron Rodgers in the book acknowledges that he didn't apologize for much, Aaron Rodgers, but he does say that he feels like he did make a mistake, and he did something he wishes he wouldn't have done. And that thing was, do you remember when he told reporters in that press conference, they asked about his vaccine status, and he said, I'm immunized? I'm immunized.
Yeah.
I'm immunized.
I remember that.
And it was like, turns out he was trying to portray, I'm good to go. But then we subsequently found out he wasn't good to go because he caught COVID. And then as an unvaccinated person, it triggered a very specific suspension. And then he had to come out and explain, well, what I meant was, and he had to do one of those whole weird Aaron Rodgers things. And he says, you know what, that was a mistake. I was misleading. He doesn't say I lied, but acknowledges that he intentionally misled the public and says he wishes he wouldn't have done that. I accept his apology. If he's apologized, I accept it.
Sure.
Do you accept it?
I guess.
I accept his apology.
I know.
You know what he said? But he was asked, all right? He says, I wish you, because he has an explanation. He says he's actually allergic to one of the ingredients. Is that the way we talk about vaccines? They have ingredients?
I think there's ingredients,
Okay, let's call it an ingredient. And if that's wrong, I apologize. But you know what I mean. He says he's allergic to one of the ingredients in the Pfizer vaccine.
Okay.
And allergic to one of the ingredients in the whatever the other big vaccine is. Moderna. I'm Team Pfizer.
I can't remember.
All my shots are Pfizer.
I can't remember.
I can't remember the last time. It might be time for me.
What do you mean?
How many shots you got?
I just did like the first ones way back.
Oh man,
yeah.
I think I did as many as I could.
I just did the first one when everybody was scared.
Yeah.
remember that? Like the army was like,
that was great.
Went through the lines. Yeah.
I felt real good after that. I felt like, man, I'm gonna live a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna live. Man, I was ready to go French kiss anybody.
Yeah.
Once I got that shot, I'd be like, I'll French kiss anybody right now. I want to breathe on somebody. I want to be breathed on. I want somebody to breathe on me right now.
Yeah. I did those, and then
I think I ended up with like 5 or 6 of them.
Did you?
I need to go back.
No, I did those initial ones, and
I don't even know where my vaccine card is these days. Do you know where yours is?
No.
I need to go find mine. Go get a new shot.
No.
I like getting shots.
Do you?
Yes.
No, I think I'd probably pass.
Oh, I'm ready to get some more.
I'll pass.
So Aaron Rodgers said he's allergic to an ingredient in Pfizer, allergic to an ingredient in Moderna, and he said the Johnson & Johnson was just trash. He said, so I'm not getting that one. And I wish, here's what he said, I wish that's what I would have said. Like, here's the deal. I'm allergic to this, and this one's trash, so I'm not going to do it.
I think we all agreed that one was trash. I think that was a universal agreement, wasn't it? Wasn't that like the crappy shot?
I feel like Dave Chappelle made a joke about it in a stand-up. The Johnson & Johnson.
They never had a chance.
It was tough out there.
They never had a shot.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
It was rough out there.
Yeah.
So he says he wishes he would have just told the truth, which is that he was hesitant to take these 2 vaccines because of he's and who knows if he's really allergic. Who knows?
Right, whatever.
But like, and then Johnson & Johnson's trash, so I'm not doing that. And so then he was asked, this is interesting. He said, okay, at the time you were playing for the Packers, but like, let's play pretend. At the time this is all going down, you actually were playing for the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And they put in the mandate that says you can't work in this building unless you're vaccinated. Same thing that got Kyrie Irving. Couldn't play in Brooklyn.
Yeah, right, I remember that.
They
Yeah.
asked him, what would you have done? And he said, I would not have gotten vaccinated. I would have sat out. I would have done the same thing Kyrie Irving did. That's what he says. Now, it would have been interesting because they play in New Jersey.
Right.
But he wouldn't. I don't know where the practice facility is. But like it's
but
it's a New York, New Jersey thing.
That's right.
Crossing the state border, he'd be fine. But like in New York State proper, he would not have been allowed to enter buildings and stuff like that. But he said, I would have done the same thing Kyrie did. Yes, I would have been the poster boy of that. If I would have been playing in New York at that time, it would have been me and Kyrie.
Yeah.
We'd have both been the ones that are just refusing to do this.
What a time.
What a time. Isn't that something?
I'm glad we're past all that.
Yeah, I am too.
I mean, for now.
For now.
Yeah.
I
Who knows
guess,
what the future holds?
I guess you never know. But, buddy, I'll never forget getting my first shot. I was so excited. And we could get them because I would go back to New York. And in New York, like I was vaccinated like 2 months before everybody in New York was because it was a supply-demand type thing.
Oh, yeah.
In New York, everybody wanted to get vaccinated. So it was like, let the old people go first. And the young people could. In Mississippi, nobody wanted to get vaccinated.
Right.
So I was like first in line. I was like the first person to ever get vaccinated in Mississippi. I don't think that's true, but
I should have given you a plaque.
They should have gotten me. I should have got a plaque.
Yeah.
I was like the first person. I was in line by myself. They were like, how many of these shots you want? I said, just give me all of them.
Yeah.
Just give me all. You got any leftovers? They're like, we got plenty of leftovers. It was fun though, wasn't it?
It was great times. Yeah,
It was not fun,
Nah,
didn't it?
I miss
It
it.
was
Yeah,
not fun. It was
I
awful.
truly miss it.
Oh man, but it was. Hey, we learned a lot about each other, didn't we?
We sure did.
Didn't we
sure
learn a lot about ourselves
We
and
sure
each other?
did. Yep.
But I'd rather never have another pandemic long as I live.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like it when we learn something about ourselves and we learn something about each other.
Me too.
I feel like we did that.
I do too.
All right.
I do too.
Number 3.
Hey, it was a big weekend at the box office.
Or was it?
That's what I'm asking
Or
you.
was it?
That's what I'm trying to ask you. Was it? Was it? Because I gather that Borderlands bombed.
Yes.
And
they're saying this might be the biggest flop ever for what it cost to make the movie.
How have I never even heard of it?
That's the thing. I think they had a big marketing problem with
So
this.
it's Jamie Lee Curtis I saw just in the picture.
They got like Oscar winners in this thing. Cate Blanchett's won 2 Oscars.
So what's going on, Bennett?
I think that. So I think Deadpool and Wolverine was number 1 at the box office again for like 3 weeks in a row. So this Borderlands movie, it's based on a video game, which I've never played, but the movie got a PG-13 rating, and apparently the game is like, super edgy, and I guess fans of it were saying, well, this should have been an R-rated movie. They tried to appeal to the masses, which the irony of it is Deadpool and Wolverine's the number 1 movie at the box office 3 years in a row, and it's like a hard R rating. Like it's it's intense. In this movie, they didn't do that, so that's kind of weird.
Gina Gershon,
Jamie
like
Lee
her.
Curtis, Kevin
Kate
Hart's
Blanchett,
in
Bobby
it,
Lee, Kevin
Jack
Hart.
Black. Yeah, it's a big time cast, and this movie totally bombed. I think they made it said they made something like 6% of what it cost to make the movie.
Well, how does something like this happen? Because you ready for I've never even heard of Borderlands. Until you sent me this morning, I've never heard of this. I've never seen a trailer. I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, that's the thing is I think that
you can't win the box office if somebody who is online as much as I am doesn't even know that you have a movie coming out.
No, and they clearly did a horrible job marketing this thing, and it's going to be one of the biggest busts ever. I think it lost to the new Blake Lively movie, some romantic comedy.
It ends with us. It ends with us had a unexpectedly positive debut. Big weekend, 50 million, something like that.
Look at that.
They didn't expect
look
50
at
million. They were
Blake
spanking.
Lively and Ryan Reynolds dominating the box office together.
They seem lovely, don't they?
Yeah, that's a nice little thing
I
to
hope they
have.
are lovely because they seem it.
They do seem like good people. I like them.
I hope they're lovely.
Yeah.
They seem lovely.
I like them a lot. But yeah, Borderlands was a huge flop. So we won't be going to see that one. You know what we will be going to see?
What will you be going to see?
This weekend? We got a big one. Alien Romulus.
What is going on with that?
It's the new installment in the Alien saga.
Sigourney Weaver?
Sigourney's not a part of this. I don't think. I don't know. I don't think she's a part of it. I mean, Ripley died like 10 times. Like, I don't think.
Is that her name in Alien?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah. But I don't know. Hey, who knows?
Bennett?
Apparently, this one kind of fits in between like the timeline of Alien and Aliens, which was the sequel. I'm fired up for this movie.
Well, how can you fit something in a timeline right in the middle of those two movies without Sigourney Weaver?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know.
How old do you think Sigourney Weaver is these days? I bet she's up there, buddy.
Yeah, she's got to be up
Probably
there.
like same age as LeBron.
I believe she's retired from acting.
74 years old.
I don't know if she's been. Oh no, you know what? She was in like the Avatar movies.
Yeah, she's 74. So like, give it 6 or 7 more years, she could run for president.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But I'm fired up for this one. I love the Alien franchise. It's probably up there as one of my favorites. If you were like, what's your favorite franchises? I'd go Star Wars and probably Alien.
Ask me what my favorite franchise is.
What's your favorite franchise?
I don't know.
You got to have a favorite franchise.
The Rocky franchise. They're not all great films, but I have.
I was gonna say,
but the
like,
first Rocky holds a special place in my heart. I love that film. That's a legitimately great film. It won an Academy Award.
You ready?
You've never seen it?
I've seen Rocky.
Of course.
I've never seen any of the sequels.
What?
Yeah.
It seems like you would just stumble into them. Like
I know.
on TNT, Rocky 4's on.
I know. Well, I've seen like, bits and pieces, but I've never sat down and watched the whole deal.
What is the movie that if you tell people you've never actually seen it, they would be most surprised by?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, those Rocky ones, people are usually like,
yeah, like I can't believe you haven't seen
the
Rocky 3.
movies?
But you were born in 87, right?
Yeah, 86.
86. So you missed Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3.
I'm trying to think. This was brought up the other day, and somebody's like, I can't believe you never seen that. I'm trying to think of what it was. And it was some big time movie that it was just like a blank spot for me. I feel like it was a sports movie too.
I have a sports movie that every time I say it, people are like, what?
Oh, I know exactly what it is. It's going to be the same one you say.
Hoosiers?
Never seen it.
I've
never seen Hoosiers. That's the one.
I have interviewed the men who played on the team that inspired Hoosiers.
Yeah, and never saw the movie.
Never seen the movie.
Come on, dude. That was a responsibility to do the research before the interview. That's irresponsible journalism right there, dude.
I feel like Seth Davis was
Come on,
supposed to do
GP.
it, and they pulled me, and like he had to go play golf or something. They pulled me in at the last minute.
No, I've never seen Hoosiers, and I probably won't ever see it. Now it's like one of those things where it's like, nah, why would I see it? You know?
Yeah, now I take great pride in never seeing it. I never want to see it. If it comes on, I turn the channel. I feel like I know about it, but I never watched it.
Yeah.
Never sit down. It would really think about your whole life. It takes 2 hours. You can watch Hoosiers.
Right.
Like you have your whole life. I just have never taken 2 hours. I spend 2 hours scrolling Instagram.
Yeah.
But I won't just sit down and watch Hoosiers. But now I take great pride in it. I don't ever want to see it.
I'm never watching that movie.
You ready for another one? Field of Dreams. Never seen it.
Okay. That's an interesting one.
Never seen it.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Are you ready for a hot take? Sports movies are super overrated.
You don't like them. Bennett says he don't have
There are way more bad ones than good ones.
Way more bad ones than good ones.
Yeah, and I guess that could be said about anything, but there's just, as someone who works in sports, kind of like I don't care about sports movies at all. One of my favorite movies is Remember the Titans, but that's like it.
Rocky's considered a sports movie, right?
Yeah. Of course, it's a sports movie.
Yeah, but it's mostly a movie about the heart.
That's right.
It's a movie about the heart.
It's bigger than sports.
It's bigger than sports.
Mm-hmm.
They're not all great, but the original one it's classic.
What's the best sequel?
In Rocky?
Yeah.
In the Rocky series?
Yeah, like what's outside of the original?
The most fun is just like Rocky 3.
Uh-huh. Is that with Drago?
No, that Drago's 4.
Okay.
But Rocky 3 is like you get Clubber Lang, Mr. T.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You get Hulk Hogan, Thunder Lips.
Yeah, okay.
It's a lot of action. You know,
Gotcha.
like Rocky 1, there's one fight for the most part. You know, Rocky 2, it's like one fight. Rocky 3, he's fighting Hulk
Everybody.
Hogan. He's fighting Clubber Lang. He's fighting
Okay.
Clubber Lang again. Rocky 3, Rocky 4, both fun. Not great movies, but fun. The one I think actually got reviewed well, because it really falls off. It's like Rocky 1's a classic. Rocky 2 tries to pick up on the classic. And then by the time you get to Rocky 3, they were just making Hollywood movies. Blockbusters. They weren't trying to make art anymore. They were just trying to make big films.
Yeah.
It feels like one of the sequels was actually called Rocky Balboa.
It was.
And that one, I think, and the Creed movies, at least the first couple ones.
People liked those.
You liked those. But it's one of those where the sequels, people will often judge the Rocky franchise off of the sequels, and it's sort of like a joke without realizing, I hear you, but the first one won an Academy Award.
It did. Yes, it did. Yeah. Okay. I might have to dive in. I might have to do a binge of all those.
I'll tell you what. If you watch the Rocky franchise, I'll watch Hoosiers.
Oh no, I thought you were gonna say you'll watch the Aliens franchise.
I'll watch it. I have with Sigourney Weaver.
Do you mess with Aliens?
I have messed with Aliens.
Yeah, the first two are amazing.
But I don't mess with aliens lately. I don't remember anything about them.
The first two are amazing.
Did an alien come out of somebody's stomach?
In the first one.
Yeah, see, I have that memory, but I don't remember anything else really.
The first two are amazing. The third one's pretty good. Resurrection's okay. Then it gets a little weird. And then Ridley Scott came and did like the prequels, Prometheus and Alien Covenant, which I loved both of those. They're kind of mixed.
This sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
Oh, there's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot. You had the Alien versus Predator, disasters. There's a lot in the Alien universe, but this new one, Romulus, I think it's got potential. I'm really excited about it.
Okay. Hey, before we move on, what about the horror franchise that just had a new one come out that we like?
X.
Yeah.
And Maxine, the third one.
Did you go see Maxine?
I sure did.
And you liked it?
I loved it.
I want to see that.
I loved it.
Can I stream that yet? I ain't trying to go anywhere.
I think people were disappointed because it took a bit of a different direction than the other two, than its predecessors did. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
Can I stream it yet? I like to stream stuff. I don't want to go to
Yeah, but I think you're going to have to pay a lot of money.
I got a credit card, but it ain't no big deal.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, it's weird what's happening with streaming now with movies coming out of the theaters because, you know, it used to just be you go see a movie in the movie theater, and then you got to wait a while before it comes out on, you know, DVD.
Now you got to wait like a week.
Or to stream. Now it's like it's in the theater for a couple, maybe 2 weeks, and then it comes to streaming, but it's not, like typically it was like $5.99 or something like that for a movie once it leaves theaters and comes to streaming. Now it's like, it's in the theater for 2 weeks, then it goes to streaming, and it's like $25.
I'm looking at it right now. $20.
Yeah, and then
I can stream it right now for $20.
And then
let's end the show. I'm gonna watch it right now.
Okay.
Rep your
Did
hood.
you watch the other two?
Yeah.
You watched X and Pearl.
You told me to.
Yeah.
I did it.
I think you like Maxine.
I loved them.
I think you like Maxine.
It was fun.
This one's fun too.
You know, I get after 8 episodes of House of the Dragon, I just need something.
Yeah.
That's all right. This person's trying to kill this person.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. House of the Dragon makes my head hurt.
Yeah, this won't make your head hurt. This is easy.
I like easy stuff.
This is easy.
I mean, I appreciate the complex stuff. You know, I like to study.
Of course.
But sometimes I want to
shut that brain off.
Sometimes I just don't want to think anymore.
Nah, you won't have to with Maxine.
I like not thinking sometimes.
You won't have to think.
All right, I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna buy it.
Okay.
Then can I transfer it to you somehow so you can have physicals?
I actually don't think you're buying it. I think you're renting it.
I can do whatever I want.
Does it say you can buy it?
Yeah, it says I can buy it. I can buy it right now for
premium. That'll be like $30. I think that'll cost you $30.
Well, let me get you a price on this, Bennett.
Yeah.
Okay, so at Amazon Prime, I can rent it for $19.99 or buy it for $24.99. I'll buy it.
I don't like that.
I'll buy it. I'll send it to you.
I don't like this new. I don't like this format. I don't like how they're doing this.
Because you like going to the movies.
I like going to the movies, and I like physical media.
I know you do.
I don't like these digital purchases that just sit in the universe somewhere. I don't like that, okay? But my thing, and I think we are going back to this because it's been a really good summer for movies. I think we're getting back to the movies will stay in the theater for a little while, and then they'll be available for people to watch at their homes, as opposed to this it's in the theater for 2 weeks. And
you want to go back to the way it used to be.
Yeah, that's right. You're damn right.
Put it on a hat.
You're damn right.
Oh, this is just one step removed from Make America Great Again, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
You just want to go
Make
backwards.
movies great again. Make cinema great again.
Kamala said we're not going backwards.
We should in this instance.
Kamala said we're not.
We should in this instance.
She said we're not going backwards, and you're just sitting here on a Monday wanting to go backwards.
These digital purchases.
Look at you.
I don't
want to
like
go backwards.
these digital purchases.
Bennett wants to take the country backwards to a time when we weren't able to purchase things digitally.
Mm-hmm. Now, Borderlands, you'll probably be able to rent that in like a day.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Might be able to just watch it
I'm not getting involved in that.
Tomorrow.
I'm going to watch Maxine tonight.
Good.
Hey, Maxine's cute. People like Maxine, huh? What's her name?
She's great. Mia Goth, I love her. She's great.
Somebody dates her.
Shia LaBeouf, they're married.
How about that?
Yeah, they're married.
How's he doing?
I don't know.
He was having a tough time for a minute.
Oh, yeah, he was. I think he's still been kind of... I think he might be an outcast in Hollywood. Although, I think he's got something interesting coming up. He's got something coming up, I think, that piqued my interest just a little bit.
Well...
But he had problems. I mean, they wrote the dude out of Indiana Jones, for goodness sakes. Yeah. He was like he was going to carry the torch.
He was just always fighting, I thought.
Yeah.
He'd just be fighting people in the streets and stuff.
Yeah, he had some I can't even find him on how do you spell it? LaBeouf.
I think it's LaBeouf, Shia LaBeouf. How do you say his name? What is that guy's name?
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. He's coming. What's coming up for him? He's going to be in that Megalopolis movie that everybody's. That's going to be a disaster.
Oh no!
That's the new Francis Ford Coppola movie.
Oh,
he's famous for The Godfather.
I know. You don't have to tell me about Francis Ford Coppola. Who do you think I am?
Yeah, apparently.
Who do you think you're talking to?
He's got this new passion project coming out called Megalopolis, and apparently it's a disaster.
Man, passion projects will get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Passion projects will get you in trouble.
Yeah, apparently it's a disaster.
Yeah, I wish you had a passion for just making great films.
Yeah.
I don't need your little passion project.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch Maxine tonight. I hope Borderlands gets things figured out.
I don't care.
I don't care either.
Number 4.
Matt Kuchar seems like a real bad guy. You don't know this guy. You don't know this fella.
Is this the dude who called someone the F word at the baseball game last night?
No, that's a Boston Red Sox player.
That checks. that makes sense. Say less.
My guy, he had to apologize. He called a fan a effing F word. Gay slur.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loud and clear, too.
Loud and clear.
Broadcast picked it right up.
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. You can't do that.
No. You got to be careful, man.
It is.
We got mics everywhere these days.
Mics everywhere these days. But it is, like, as long as we're being honest, people did grow up saying that word all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And not saying it.
Not in a derogatory
you ready for this?
way.
I'm not sure this is exactly true. All right, so I don't want to say something and people go, "Well, that's not true."
Yeah, be careful.
So I'm not sure this is exactly true, but I want it to be true, and I think if it's not entirely true, it's close to true.
Mm.
I've heard that slur used 1,000,000 times, but never directed at a gay person.
I don't think I have either.
It's always used for you.
Yeah.
When you won't have one more beer.
It's like the R word, right?
Yeah, same word. It's the same type of thing.
Yeah.
These words were used commonly forever. And then we just reached a point, it's like, yo, you can't say that no more. And then every once in a while, somebody slips up, like Justin Thomas on the golf course a few years ago. You remember this?
Right, I do remember.
He missed a putt, and he called himself a F and F. And he lost his sponsorships because he called himself an F and F. But that's exactly how it happens.
Yeah.
I am more likely to call myself an F and F than I am anybody else in the world.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's what happened to this guy. You can't do it.
You can't do it.
You
No,
can't
you
do
can't
it.
do it.
It doesn't matter that you used to do it, and it used to be accepted as like, well, that's just a word we use when somebody leaves the party early.
Yeah.
Oh, stop being a. That's the way that was used in normal social settings. Let me be very clear. I know it was also used as like a real gay slur. But I've never really experienced that part. I've never seen that part of it, really. I just haven't. But, like, have I ever been on the golf course for 4 hours without hearing that word? Probably not. Right? But you can't say it.
No, you can't say it.
You can't do that. So that fella, he got in trouble. Matt Kuchar is not that guy.
What did he do?
Okay, this guy. Been on the PGA Tour forever. Okay. And he has a reputation of, like, not being great. Like, not being the most great guy.
Like not friendly?
Just like
jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's just always involved in some stuff that a decent person wouldn't be involved in.
Okay.
like a different person wouldn't be involved in. So he was leading the Wyndham Championship after 2 rounds, after 36 holes. All right. And then he sort of fell apart a little bit. And anyway, fast forward to yesterday, and they'd had weather delays, and it was getting dark, but they're wrapping it up. All right. He's out of contention. He's like in 12th place, and he's on the 18th tee box. And he hits a drive. It's starting to get dark enough. It's not too dark, but it's getting dark. And he can't see down the fairway. Nobody alerts him that the group in front of him is still on the fairway, and he can't see them. So it's dark enough where he genuinely can't see 260, 300 down the fairway.
Gotcha.
So he hits his drive. He hits it into him, which is, if you don't play golf, you don't know. That's how fights start.
Yeah, right.
On the golf course. Like you're standing in the fairway and you hear a ball come, and it's like, yo, what do you... That's how fights start.
Sure.
All right? And also gay slurs. That's how you get called a gay slur on a golf course. Hit into somebody. So the prevailing theory at this point is he got frustrated with tournament officials at that point. Like, yo, you just made me hit into these guys because you didn't tell me, hey, hold up. You saw me standing over the ball. You know what I'm doing. You know these guys are in the fairway. You got to let me know I can't see them. The prevailing thought is that he got frustrated with that, and he just said, they gave him the option as he walked to the fairway to his ball. They gave him the option. They said, we're not going to blow the horn. If you want to finish, you can finish, but it is dark, and it's up to you. And he said, I'm marking my ball. He marked his ball on the fairway and left the course. They were still playing. Everybody else is still playing. Everybody on the course is still playing. His playing partner is still playing. Literally everybody else in the tournament finished their round. And he just quit. Because he was given the option to mark his ball on the 18th fairway. So the tournament didn't officially end yesterday.
Oh,
wow. This other guy won his first PGA Tour championship.
But you don't get to enjoy it.
It didn't become official until this morning. Matt Kuchar, so they said, what are you going to do? He said, I'll come back tomorrow. So he went out to the golf course this morning all by himself.
And played 1 hole.
A half a hole.
A half a hole.
He put his ball in the fairway where it was. I think he was 212 out. He put it on the green, two putt par, finished tied for 12th and left. But by doing that, he holds up the whole thing. Keep in mind, he's not trying to win the tournament. He can't.
Right.
He's not trying to qualify for the FedEx St. Jude Championship. He's not. The only thing at stake is money. And it's real money.
Sure.
For me or you. Like the difference in if he would have bogeyed this hole and birdied this hole, there could have been a $60,000 swing. That's real money. But he's made $60 million. And odds are what you did this morning is exactly what you were going to do last night. 212, put it on the green, 2-putt, let's get out of here. But by throwing a fit and saying, I'm not hitting another shot, I'll come back tomorrow, you hold up the process of everything else, and you make other people, people had to work today who otherwise didn't think they were going to have to work today. They got to show up to the golf course to deal with this guy. It's hilarious. Jim Nantz was on the call yesterday. They were confused.
They didn't know what was going on. Yeah.
They didn't know what was going on. They just see Matt Kuchar just walking off the course. They're like, what is he doing? They go to the on-course reporter. They're like, this is a really unusual situation. But Jim Nantz, once they get an idea of what's happening, that Kuchar just marked his ball and is going to come back tomorrow, Nance is like, well, I doubt we're going to be showing you this coverage tomorrow. We ain't coming back live on CBS tomorrow morning to show
watch
you
Matt Kuchar. Yeah.
It would make sense on some level if they were the final group, it's really dark, and you're playing for a trophy, right?
Yeah.
Or you're playing to try to make the cut for FedEx St. Jude Championship. This dude was just in the field and held up everything. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan. Stop throwing your little hit your stupid ball.
Hit
your stupid little ball and go putt your ball and go. Also, you ever been around golfers? They can't wait to get on the plane and get home.
Right.
This dude just stayed. How much do you hate your family? Where you're like, I will. I'm spending an extra night on the road. Why? So I can wake up tomorrow. That's the other thing. You got to wake up tomorrow, take a shower, get dressed, go through your pre-round stuff. All to make one swing.
Yeah.
How? That's throwing a fit.
Yes.
Because it's not even in your best interest.
I know.
Like when you are willing to do something that's not even in your best interest, that's throwing a fit. When you're willing to, this isn't even in my best interest. This is going to, it's like when you get mad at DirecTV or AT&T and you're like, and if you don't do this, I'll cancel my coverage. And they're like, well, you're not going to do that. And you're like, well, I told him I was going to. So now it's like, all right, I'm going to cancel my coverage, but this is going to be a pain in the ass for me. Now I got to go to C-Spire and talk to them and get it all hooked up. Now they got to come I got to return it. Like, this isn't even in my best interest to throw this fit and cancel but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm throwing a fit. But then you get right in the middle of it and you're like, I should have just kept AT&T.
Yeah.
This is driving me crazy. What point am I proving right now? All I've done is complicate my life. That's what Matt Kuchar did yesterday. By throwing a fit, you have to stay an extra night away from home, get up to this morning, get dressed, go out to the golf course by yourself, go through a whole to do what? Because you just don't want to fit. I don't like it. I don't like it.
No.
Seems like a 6-year-old.
Number 5.
Big night on Twitter tonight. X.
That's what I'm hearing.
Elon Musk and Donald Trump are going to have a conversation.
I'll be watching.
I will watch it too.
Of course.
Like, it is like, take whatever you think about these people. It is a former president and possibly a future president speaking to the man who is still in this moment considered the wealthiest man in the world.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting. The reason I'm really curious about it is because I'm pretty sure Trump doesn't like him. There's been indications.
Yeah, but the thing about, and I'm not even trying to get whatever here.
But I'm just saying it could be interesting.
But the thing you realize about Donald Trump, what other people will tell you about Donald Trump, if you can't pick it up on yourself, he likes anybody who likes him.
Right.
So when
Elon likes him.
Well, when Elon endorsed him, well, now Trump will do whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key with him. You just have to say, I like you, and he'll be like, I like you.
Yeah.
He just likes people who like him.
Sure. That's a good point.
And then if you ever turn on him, then he turns on you.
Mm-hmm.
And he might turn on you before you even turn on him. But that is who can be in Donald Trump's circle if you like him and publicly express that, then you're in the circle.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't or you're uncertain, like you saw with Joe Rogan this weekend. Do you see this?
Oh, he endorsed Kennedy.
Except he actually didn't. He just sort of said, like, he
likes Kennedy.
I like him. He said, I like the guy.
Yeah.
And that got interpreted as an endorsement. And within, it felt like minutes. But very quickly, Donald Trump's on social media being like, I wonder how badly Joe Rogan's going to get booed at the next UFC event. Like, he was already turning on Joe Rogan. Already. Because the world had misinterpreted an endorsement to the point where Joe Rogan had to come out and say, I didn't endorse anybody. I just, he actually said, you should get your political news from somebody other than me.
Mm-hmm.
He always says that, which isn't an excuse for being stupid all the time, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's always, like, talking about some very serious stuff, and then he'll come back and say, but I don't know.
Yeah, he does do that. He does do that.
He's always like, I don't, but what do I know?
Yeah.
It's like he's got very serious opinions, and then when you press him on him, he's like, well, why are you even listening to me? What do I know anything about?
Right.
So that's interesting the way he does that. But my point is, like, Donald Trump turned on him immediately, right? And if Joe Rogan ever comes out and says, hey, I got to vote, and at this point, like, I don't love any of the options, but I'm voting for Donald Trump, then Donald Trump will love him again.
Mm-hmm.
Walk up to him at UFC and give him a hug, It'll be one of the... So does Donald Trump actually like Elon Musk? I have no idea. But once Elon Musk endorses him very publicly, and honestly turns X into right-wing propaganda.
Right.
That For You tab is wild.
It's insane.
That For You tab is wild.
It's truly insane.
So once you do those things, then if you want to sit down on a Monday night with Donald Trump, then he'll sit down with you. So we get that tonight. I'll watch it.
Yeah, of course I will.
I mean, they could say something wild. Both these fellas tend to get themselves in trouble when they talk too much.
Yeah. So Elon's interviewing him.
It just says it's a conversation between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. They're just going to talk. What do you think they're going to talk about? Maybe Borderlands.
I bet that will happen, but yeah.
They might talk about Borderlands.
Well, they'll talk about a border.
They'll talk about the border.
They'll talk about border will be mentioned. Yes.
You know my position on the border.
Yeah.
I just want to close the northern border.
Oh yeah, you did stand on that last week.
I want to close the northern border.
Yeah.
I don't like all the attention the southern border is getting.
Yeah.
I
don't know if that's a popular stance though.
It's my stance. I want to close the northern border. I want to keep Drake out.
I'd like to get back to Canada, so I'd prefer not. I'd like to go check out Canada soon.
Oh no, we would let you come and go.
Yeah,
but we're just going to keep the illegals out.
Gotcha.
Like Drake.
Okay.
We're going to keep the illegals out like Drake. The pedophiles. Certified pedophiles. Master manipulators and habitual liars too. You know? I want to close the northern border. So they'll probably.
I don't.
So Bennett doesn't want to close. I want to close the northern border.
Not like
I want to close. I'm less concerned with the southern border. I recognize it as an issue. But that northern border doesn't get the attention it deserves. We got Drake just coming back and forth.
No.
You don't see that on Fox News.
You do not? No, you do not.
They're always talking about southern border, but like that northern border, Drake just comes and goes however he wants. Are we comfortable with that?
I'm fine with it.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I want to close the northern border.
Okay.
I bet they'll talk mostly about the southern border, though.
It'll get mentioned.
And whatever else comes up, you know?
Yeah.
How about this? It'll be interesting.
Oh, yes, it will.
You might not enjoy everything you see, but I bet it'll be interesting.
Yep.
I bet you won't be too bored. You might get bored eventually, but I bet there's going to be, how about this? There are going to be some viral moments.
Yes, there will be.
I like viral moments.
I like those too.
I enjoy viral moments.
I'm always here for a good viral moment.
Me too. I can't wait. 7 o'clock tonight on X. If you want to watch it, you can. If you don't want to watch it, I don't care. It's up to you. Be back with GP's carryout.
They needed size. They needed shooting. What were your initial thoughts on how this class turned out for the Grizzlies?
Analytically looking at it, you had to have a big man, and they got the best big man that was left on the board.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Looking at the college football playoff and the odds to make the college football playoff, this is the top 13 teams. 7 of these 13 are out of the SEC.
I think that first year in the SEC is going to be different. Like I do. I just think it's going to be different.
The Odds Couple with Rob Fisher, Lang Whitaker, John Roser, and CJ Hurt live Thursdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
GG gonna be just fine, bro. Like he probably, like Josh probably number 1 and he's probably number 2 most talented teammates I've ever had.
Just raw talent.
Like,
wow.
bro, like
just go to the gym, hoop type stuff.
Like you walk in the gym and he might be doing a workout and you're gonna look over and be like, damn.
The Chris Vernon Show live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball. But the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board. A class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We got a couple breaking news items. Can I give you some breaking news items? First and foremost, AP poll, college football is out. Georgia is ranked number 1 in the country, followed by Ohio State and Oregon. Those are the only 3 programs that got first place votes. Texas is number 4, Alabama number 5. Your Ole Miss Rebels are sitting at number 6. Let me run you through a couple more schools of note. Missouri is 11th. Mike Norvell's Florida State Seminoles 10th. Tennessee is 15th. And the University of Memphis Tigers.
Don't say it.
34th.
That's okay.
16 points. They got 16 points in the AP poll. Disrespectful, I think.
I think I'd like to see, I think I'd like to see him a little bit higher than that, but I don't have a big problem with it.
I got a big problem with it. There are no group of 5 programs in the top 25, but Boise State is ahead of Memphis.
Okay.
Liberty also ahead of Memphis. I don't like that. Disrespectful, I think.
Liberty.
I find it disrespectful.
I don't like that either.
I don't like it either. Oh, another breaking news. We have Shams Charania.
What'd he say?
Opening night of the NBA season. The games are now set.
Are we on it?
Bennett, how are we going to get on it?
Because it's 2, right?
2 games.
It's the 2 games.
Yeah, come on, Bennett.
Let me guess.
Okay.
Let me guess. I haven't seen this.
I don't think you'll guess either one of these.
Really?
Nope.
So it's not like conference rivals or anything like that? It could be?
I just don't think you'll guess either one of these.
Not Lakers Warriors?
Not Lakers Warriors.
Lakers Suns.
Not Lakers Suns.
Lakers Celtics.
Not Lakers Celtics.
Lakers Nuggets. Lakers Nuggets.
Nope.
Lakers T-Wolves.
Yep. Timberwolves at Lakers. That's your nightcap.
Okay.
And the early game on that night, opening night.
Celtics,
obviously. At home because it's banner, all that.
Celtics Bucks.
Nope.
Celtics Sixers? No.
Nope.
That's a Christmas Day. Celtics Cavs.
Nope.
Celtics.
It'll make sense when you say it. But I knew you wouldn't guess it.
Knicks.
Yeah. Knicks at Celtics. Timberwolves at Lakers. That's opening night.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. You get Anthony
I like
Edwards,
that, yeah.
LeBron, our king. Then Jalen Brunson and the Villanova Knicks.
Yep.
And it's Jason Tatum. You think Jason Tatum will play?
Yeah. I would think they'd get him some minutes.
Wouldn't that be
in
nice?
That one.
I bet he can't wait.
Nice.
I bet he can't wait to get back to the
minute,
Celtics. I bet he can't wait to get back to the Celtics.
Dude, what a weird deal.
It was weird. There's some thought. I read a column earlier. It was like, this should have been the summer of Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's in his prime. Like, this isn't like, yeah, but he's young.
Dude.
Like when LeBron and Melo played for that first Olympic team that lost, LeBron was like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
Melo was, they just finished their rookie year.
You can't convince me something wasn't going on there.
It's just weird.
Because the argument will be, well, like, you need to put shooters on the floor around. Like, you're going to play LeBron, you're going to play KD, you're going to play Steph.
They had a sensible explanation every time for why Jason Tatum didn't play. Like, if you just strictly talk basketball,
right,
it makes sense. But then you have to step over here and be like, all right, but it still doesn't make sense. It's
of course it doesn't make sense.
This guy is one of the 5 best players in the world for 3 straight years.
Yeah, like you literally, if you know Jason Tatum's on the team, which you did, and like you know you're needing certain lineup combination, you go to Jason Tatum and you say, hey, before we get going with these practices and things like that, need you to probably, because we got LeBron, because we got KD, because we got Steph, like, need you to try to get some assists out there or be more of a spot-up shooter for us. Just not play him.
If Jason Tatum knew this was going to be his experience, do you think he would have?
Absolutely not.
He would have passed. You don't do this.
No, I mean, his mom was saying stuff on social media.
It's one thing when you're Tyrese Halliburton sitting on the bench.
That's right.
And he like sort of made fun of it, like.
He had fun with it.
That's the way to, but it's like Tyrese.
He knows.
Somebody's got to sit on the bench.
Right.
And of that group, like Tyrese Halliburton makes sense.
Right.
But none of us assumed Jason Tatum would not play in the Olympics.
No.
To this regard.
No, like his teammates are playing more than him.
Derek White plays more than Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Like that's bananas. Let me be clear. It's not bananas from a basketball perspective. I understand it. It's just like, okay, but it's Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
He's been first team All-NBA 3 straight years. He just won a championship. He should not be tied to the bench. So the column was, can they get him back? Like, will he agree to come back in 2028? I think he will because you don't want to never have.
Yeah. Well, Kerr won't be there. He's already kind of acknowledged this is probably it for him.
Yeah, and like there's going to be some. We talked earlier about, like, will LeBron play? Will Steph play? Will KD play? Well, you got to make room for some of these next generation of guys. Like, Paolo Banchero is going to be on this team.
Yep.
Chet Holmgren's going to be on this team, probably.
Ja?
Maybe.
We'll see. I hope so.
I hope so, but, like, I don't believe he has any real relationship with USA Basketball. Like a lot of these guys come up, like they're playing USA basketball when they're 15, 16, 17. John's never really had that relationship.
Yeah.
So I hope so, like you, but I don't. Cooper Flagg's going to be, but there's only so many spots.
Right.
All right. Cooper Flagg's probably going to be a part of this.
Yeah, I mean, not having the best, who could theoretically be the best American point guard on your team, that's kind of weird.
Right. But they clearly care about things other than just who are the best basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they left Jason Tatum at home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jaylen Brown. Yeah, they left Jaylen Brown at
No,
home.
there is like some politics in this
There's
thing.
a lot of politics.
Yeah.
Nike,
Huh.
Now, the thing that would work in Ja's favor is Nike.
Right.
The thing that worked against Jaylen Brown is he's not with Nike.
Right.
So Ja being a Nike person would theoretically help. But like that's the thing to remember. If like LeBron comes back and KD's back and Steph's back, and I don't know that I'd bet against that.
I would too.
But all right, then you've still got the Anthony Edwards and the Tyrese Halliburtons and that batch of guys who are entering their primes.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, where are the spots? Where are the spots for the new people if some of the old people don't leave?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a hard team. It'll be a hard team to make. But the column that I was referencing, it was like they need to already be working on that with Jason Tatum. Like, we need you to be the face of this thing in 28 or among the faces of it. We know this was not the experience you wanted. We know that. Just trust us. This will not be the next time.
Right.
And then you got to decide whether you trust him or not. And I don't think there's any scenario where you would sit him on the bench again like that. It's embarrassing on some level. It's embarrassing. He handled it pretty well, but like that doesn't feel good.
No.
It doesn't feel good. Like he took all the pictures and had that gold medal and he's proud of it on some level, but I bet it doesn't feel the way he thought it was going to feel.
Right.
So I bet he can't wait to get back to the Celtics, and he'll be there on opening night. Knicks are coming to TD Garden. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff, but we mostly focused on USA basketball. Men and women. They both won goals this weekend. Both defeated France in France. That's nice to win a couple of goals, beating France in France.
That was pretty cool.
Go to your home soil. We'll do it on your home soil.
That was pretty cool.
The women win by a point. Fun game. And the men, it was an all-time great performance from Steph Curry. Those final 133 seconds where he banged home 4 threes, including one over 4 arms while Kevin Durant and LeBron James were open. It was like when you are putting together the Hall of Fame video to introduce Steph Curry,
Mm-hmm.
what we watch this weekend will be a part of it.
Yes, it will.
It'll be in there. Big moment. Incredible shooting performance. He's an all-time great. His legacy is cemented.
What's today's biggest game?
We're doing baseball. We got a good one. It's out at Oracle Park in San Francisco.
What's going on?
It's a couple of NL wildcard hopefuls. It is the Atlanta Braves.
Yep.
They blew one yesterday, buddy.
Yes, they did.
In Colorado, I think they let the Rockies score 8 runs in the 8th or something stupid like that. That was dumb. They shouldn't have done that.
No.
So, Braves at Giants. Right now, the Braves are 61-56. They're third in the wild card race. So they are in possession right now of the third and final NL wild card. The Diamondbacks and the Padres are ahead of them in the wild card standing. So right now, NL wild card would be Diamondbacks, Padres, Braves, and then the Mets are a half game back of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals and Giants are 1.5 games back. So still a lot of teams involved. Wild card race in the NL should be fun. Tonight, great pitching matchup. 2 maybe future Hall of Famers. Chris Sale against Blake Snell.
Yeah.
I mean, Blake Snell's got 2 Cy Youngs. Hard to win 2 Cy Youngs and not make the Hall of Fame. We'll see. Chris Sale, 8-time All-Star, World Series champion, 2-time AL strikeout leader, and fastest to 2,000 strikeouts in history. It only took him 1,626 innings. He also has more immaculate innings pitched than everybody in the world, except for Sandy Koufax and Max Scherzer. He has 3. They also have 3. Nobody's ever done more. Immaculate inning, that's when I think it's 9 pitches.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Strike 3, strike 3, strike 3. You're out, you're out, you're out. He's done that 3 times. Only other people to ever do it 3 times. Sandy Koufax, and Max Scherzer. Tonight, 8:45 first pitch. Braves, -115 on the road. Giants are -105. How you going to act?
It's tough.
It is tough.
I think I'll just take the Giants. I'll
Giants
just go
at
with the
home.
home team, yeah.
All right, let me go ahead and document this for you.
How did I do Friday? I can't remember.
You lost. You took Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
They got their heads handed to them.
Come on.
You took the Steelers. You believed a little too much in that Mike Tomlin. So San Francisco -105. You are now 139, 137, and 4, -12.9 units.
Okay.
That's a tough loss for you on Friday.
That was tough.
Maybe tonight's your bounce back.
Yeah, give me the Giants.
Could be your bounce
Give me the
back.
Giants.
Bennett says give him the Giants. All right, we're going to give them to you then.
What are we watching on TV?
I mean,
what's going
it's
on?
Monday Night Raw.
It is Monday Night Raw.
It's Monday Night Raw. Dirty
yeah, where
Dom.
are we at?
Dirty
Where are we at?
Dom.
Oh, yeah. We still got our Judgment Day saga going on.
Got a Judgment Day saga.
Yeah.
Tribal Chief returned to SmackDown on Friday night.
Cleaned house.
Cleaned house.
Expected.
Yeah. Hey, how are we feeling about Cody Rhodes against Kevin Owens? The Battle of Berlin.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
I love KO. I
can see
He's
that.
my favorite wrestler.
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's a throwaway match for a throwaway live event.
Premium live event.
Yeah.
How,
I'm sure they'll put on a great match.
Yeah,
but
how
like the
am I
passion, no.
Yeah, I need people to hate each other. These guys are friends.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens was just protecting Cody Rhodes last weekend.
Yeah.
Now I gotta watch them pretend to
something
fight.
will happen. He'll turn on him. Something will happen, right? Like they're not just gonna go in this thing as friends. Like
I don't need it. I just don't need it.
I don't think I need it either. I appreciate KO getting the main event, but I don't think I need it.
Yeah, let's let Cody Rhodes start with because you got a long time. You got to build it back to Cody against Roman.
Mania, yeah.
But it sounds like we're going to have Roman against Solo first.
Oh, yeah. Roman's got to take care of that
And then,
problem.
It sounds like we're going to get a Roman Jacob Fatu situation.
Where's Jacob
He's
Fatu?
hurt, they think. Remember when people were like, and they made it look like he was hurt. He might really be hurt.
He might really be hurt?
That's what they're saying.
Where is Jacob Fatu?
That's what they're saying in the streets.
I don't trust it.
That's what they're saying in the streets.
Uh-huh.
That's what the streets are saying. Jacob Fatu, he's serious.
Nah, I don't trust it because what's happened, Roman comes out, cleans house. This is easy work for him with these guys. And then, look who comes out from under the ring.
Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Ooh. Hey, Chris says in the chat that this is a recipe for a heel turn. Kevin Owens turns bad guy.
KO, yeah. He's good at it. He's done it before. He's been a good guy for a long time now.
You think he's going to do something low down?
Yeah. It's in his nature.
He's going to be a scoundrel.
And you know what? I'll be right there behind him.
You can't trust him, and you appreciate that about him.
I'll be standing right there behind him.
Cody's going to say, KO, I wanted to give you a title shot because I thought you had earned it.
Yeah.
And now you've turned on me like a scoundrel. That's where we're headed.
It'll be me and KO versus the Cody Crybabies.
The Cody Crybabies.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't like it.
He didn't have a chance.
I don't like it either. I don't like it either. But that's what we're getting tonight. Raw.
I think I'll watch the X, the Elon Donald Trump thing.
I'm gonna do double screen.
We'll do double screen. One on the phone.
If
one
I'm
on
being completely honest, this is the way I normally watch wrestling.
Yeah, that's right.
I
You
do
gotta
a
have something
double
else
screen.
on. Yeah.
Have something else on, and when you get into like an Austin Theory match, I don't need that.
Oh, I like them. I actually enjoy when they come out.
Austin Theory.
Yeah. What are they called? A-Town Down Under. Yeah. I like them. Yeah. I like them. They're fun.
When there's a match going on that I'm like, I don't care what happens. Then I can mute it and focus on some other things. That's when you start trying to figure out your 5 more things.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and then when people start talking, I listen to that. I like the talking.
Yeah.
I like it when people talk. I don't need to watch every wrestling match.
No, I don't need to, especially on Raw.
Yeah, I don't need to stay.
Yeah.
I don't need to stay that focused. Yeah. At 7 o'clock tonight, it's on. I think we're back on USA Network tonight.
We are. We're back.
Okay, let's go.
What's the best thing we've read?
So our Candid Coaches series launched today over at CBSSports.com. That's where me and Matt Norlander poll like 100 college coaches and ask them a series of questions. We offer anonymity in exchange for honesty. And the first question was, who will be the best team in college basketball this season? And 35.6% of the coaches told us they believe it'll be the Kansas Jayhawks. Second, Alabama got 27.9% of the vote, followed by Houston, Duke, and UConn. Those are your 5 biggest vote getters. You want to read the Candid Coaches series? It started today. You can find it cbssports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's Tuesday. That's Chris Vernon.
Yep.
Chris Vernon going to be in studio?
Yep.
All right. We'll talk basketball. Talk basketball with him. We'll see what he thinks about LeBron James playing in 2028 and how difficult, if at all, it would be for John Morant to make that team. You're already starting to get a little bit of these people projecting, like who could be in and like it's not a no-brainer. Everybody's putting John Morant on that team. They're just not.
Right.
You know, you can take issue with it if you want to.
I do take issue.
I know you do. You can take issue with it, and I understand why you are, but it's not just like a no-brainer,
right?
That you got to have.
I've seen the list that people are putting out. Yep.
Yeah. So talk to Vernon about that. Should be a good time. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. Meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.